Joshua Van is the greatest guy. If not one of, but I mean, because, I mean, you say that and other people get mad. Joshua Van is the greatest dude. I mean, I've known him for quite a long time. I've interviewed him many, many times. Joshua Van is the coolest dude. Dana White can't tell you guys everything. He has to gaslight a little bit. But the MMA Guru is not gonna, he's not gonna weather the storm. The MMA Guru is not going to finish out the 2025 season, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you that. Dana White, Lenee Breckinridge, okay? Alright, let me bring her up over here so this camera can see. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest people you ever meet too, as well. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, Lenee Breckinridge, ladies and gentlemen, the right-hand woman to Dana White. Lenee Breckinridge is going to listen to a presentation from a character on the Simon Feck Show named STU PITT. STU PITT. STU PITT. Ladies and gentlemen. Also, next week we're going to have live stream, a four-way. It's going to be myself, Simon Feck, Lenee Breckinridge, Amy Kaplan, and Nina Drama live next week on the Simon Feck 1 Foot Cock Show, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Your buddy, the MMA Guru, is not going to outlast the 2025 season, ladies and gentlemen. I like to have good fun streams and everything here. But this guy, this MMA Guru character just will not learn a lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Did I tell you that Dana White found Maycee Barber an opponent? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dana White found Maycee Barber an opponent, ladies and gentlemen, and you may see her in the cage soon, and you may not, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Maycee. You may see her, and you may not, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Yeah, that was a whole other thing, too, that Maycee Barber thing. You know? Stay off the crack pipe, baby. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, stop stimulating yourself right before you go out. I mean, the commission isn't going to allow that when they see that, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck SKIT, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got here? Shine the light on the people. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana White here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Dana White, he's not a stupid guy, okay? He's got to play the games with all these prima donnas, okay? I mean, Dana White's a smart guy. Dana White invented Power Slap in one night, ladies and gentlemen. Dana White invented Power Slap one evening, New Year's Eve. Dana White invented Power Slap on New Year's Eve when he was out partying, ladies and gentlemen. In one night, 800 trillion views per Power Slap, ladies and gentlemen. Dana White invented Power Slap on New Year's Eve, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it here from Simon Feck, 1 Foot Cock, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Joey, right? MMA Joey goes down all the way from Alaska, goes down to Key West, him and his fiance, right? The MMA Joey goes down there, and people have planned their vacations forever, right? And then they gotta have this fat slob come up to them and say, hey, you know, hey, I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, I'm big on YouTube. Yeah, I'm MMA Joey, you know, UFC, MMA fighting. And he's got to go and bore the people to death, right? He's got to tell everybody. And how I know, because somebody got a hold of me, okay? So the MMA Joey goes down there, and he's a huge Simon Feck fan. There's a few other instances I could tell you about, too. It's all documented, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. So MMA Joey gets a shirt with cocks all over it. And then he's telling these people that he's this big YouTuber. You know, this MMA guy, this UFC YouTuber. And he starts talking about Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen, to these people. He talks so much about Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, to these people on vacation, probably trying to rip their hair out of their head, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I mean, bored to death, listen to, I mean, you can't even understand what Joey's saying in the first place, right? But he's talking about Simon Feck so much, these people, when they finally got away from the fat boy, they thought that his name was Simon Feck because he talked about Simon Feck so much. They got a hold of me for I don't know what reason, but they got a hold of me and they thought, hey, they thought I was MMA Joey because he talked about Simon Feck so much. MMA Joey, dude, you ain't that big, dude. You're gonna go around and telling people who you are. That's embarrassing. Like, MMA Joey had a guy in his apartment complex that recognized him. So, MMA Joey pounces on the guy, okay? And I don't mean like him and his fiance, you know, going down to Key West kind of pouncing. I'm talking about, you know, every time he's out walking his dog, he sees this guy that recognized him. He's got, hey, you know, and the guy's bored to death talking to stupid MMA Joey. The guy moved. He didn't just move out of the apartment complex. He moved out of the state, ladies and gentlemen, to get away from MMA Joey. Anyways, that was a stupid story, but yeah, MMA Joey's going around telling everybody who he is. You know how embarrassing that is? Oh my God. And up to like random people. That's like saying, like me going up like, hey, I'm the #1 knitter. Like to, I don't know, to people playing volleyball. This is the worst show ever. But I'm telling you what, this show right here is going to get more traction than any show I've done so far. We didn't go on a script. And now I'm talking about the big YouTuber. That's not going to be on YouTube much longer. I keep giving the guy chances. And then I got people saying, hey, Simon Feck, you're using some of his old pictures. Maybe calling him Kyle Me and stuff. Do you know what the MMA Guru did? Lenee Breckinridge will find out real soon. The UFC is going to find out real soon. Dana White's going to find out real soon. The cameraman, Conor McGregor, is going to find out real soon. The world's going to find out real soon. Jon Jones is going to find out real soon. Francis Ngannou is going to find out real soon. Michael Chandler is going to find out real soon. Mick Parkin is going to find out real soon. Oban Elliott's going to find out real soon.